Hello, my dear friend. Good morning, all of you. And in this video, we are discuss about the new style Gradio container. Because base class of the Gradio app is Gradio container. We are changing the background color. Within the if you want to change your background color of the Gradio app or add the image in the background, then we use the background color or background image by using the keyword. So here we are adding container. This is the block and this is the container. We are adding red color. Background is red color. If you want to add the image in the background, just file name and your Python code on the same directory. If your file or Python code not in same directory or image is not in same directory, then you provide the full path of the image so that it will be automatically launched. Then next is the alim id or alim classes. Alim id, add an HTML element id to the any component and element to classes होती है. This will be add to class or list of classes to the HTML elements. So this is allow us to select the element more easily with CSS. This approach also more likely to stable across the Gradio version and built-in class naming. But there is the sometime problem because sometime Gradio DOM or HTML or CSS DOM element changes. In that case, there is, but otherwise no. So let's start and how to add. You can add the different way. That is the warning. That is adding a CSS to my package. This is the warning. Background color is this and feedback text area. We're defining feedback with the text area. Font size is 24 and important in the CSS style and passing here. And we pass creating a box 1 and box 2. I'm not creating box 1 or box 2 with the text box. Good job. Alim classes is feedback, alim id is warning, and classes is feedback and defining it. In that case, when I compile it, this is that warning does not affect to the first column, first text box, but it affect to the second text box. But feedback is affect on the both warning and the first and second text box. So it is important. Next is the adding custom JavaScript to your demo. You can add a customized JavaScript to your demo. You can use it. Here we are defining. This is the all the customized text box. See that all the customized text box. Then first of all, we import the Gradio as a GUI, creating a welcome function, passing the name of the welcome to Gradio and name. Just it print only this. All the things or all the compatibility that will work is JS and 3 inverted comma. All the codes written in the 3 inverted commas. I explain each and everything so that you will understand what is the so function name of the function. Define a function name, create Gradio animation. This is the name of function that I defining here. The name of the function. Just read the name of the function. Nothing. This is the just name of the function. Nothing else. And next is the creating the container. And this is the container. Container 1, container ID, container style, font weight, text alignment, and margin button. The container, the 5 element is the container. So div element create, that is the div element. This is the create and assign to the variable container. Okay, variable container ID container to set the Gradio animation. For Gradio animation ID for the ID container is the several CSS style are applied to container to set its font size, text alignment, and margin. So this is the different text to animate. Which text you want to animate? Text welcome here and want to animate this. The variable hold the text that will be animated. The variable, and then we are using the for loop. This is variable I started from 0 and length of the text and I plus. This is the increment of the then function I defining the function for loop iterated with character for the text. Immediately invoke the function express IIFE, which is used to create a closure, capture the current value I. Okay, then set the time out. Set the time out. This one, this is the function that will invoke expression used to create a closure, capture, and current value of the I. This is the timeout functionality used to delay the execution of the inner function by I into 250 milliseconds, creating a stagger animator effect. This is the timeout function. Inside the set timeout, a span element is created. This is the span element is created for each character. Span is opacity is initially just span opacity initially is 0 and transition effect is applied. Character is set to inner text span. Inner text of the span. Letter style opacity is 0. Transition opacity is 0.5. Inner text also defined. Then container dot append child. This is creating the container dot append child letter set timeout function. Letter dot opacity is equal to 1 after 50 seconds. After we are setting opacity is equal to 1. Initial opacity is 0, but setting opacity to 1 after 50 seconds. And making character fade after y into 250 multiplied by this. Next, inserting the container. This is the Gradio container. Document dot query selector, which is dot Gradio. Gradio container dot insert before container Gradio container dot first child. This is the script. Select the element with class Gradio container. This is select the element from the class Gradio container. The container is insert as the first child of the Gradio container. What will be the hyper container is inserted as a first child of the Gradio container. Container insert hoga that will be inserted by the Gradio container. And then return animation is created. Import Gradio as a GR and name the welcome passing this JavaScript. First we are creating a function name create Gradio animation. Variable container document dot create container and is fine. Then ID container ID is Gradio animation and container. There are the 4 element of and text alignment margin button. Then text which want to animate it text welcome to Gradio. After that 4 I range we are starting from the 0 and length of the text. What is the length of the text? And then passing the function and passing the element I first character second, then adding the timeout functionality. This is the basically timeout functionality. This is the functionality to add it. Timeout used to delay execution of the inner function by I into 2 multiply by 250 millisecond, creating a scattered animation effect. Okay, this is the basically inside the timeout we are creating a span. Opacity initial opacity is 0 and transition opacity is inserted and then text is inserted and this is container span appended and next is container span is appended to the span appended to the container. And next timeout is used to change the opacity to 1 to after change the timeout opacity from 1 after every 50 seconds. The change after every 50 seconds. Then next part is the script selection. To script selection an element with class Gradio selector. Yeah, this is the basically Gradio container. This is the class Gradio container. Document dot query selector class name is Gradio container. Gradio container is inserted as the first child of the Gradio container. This is the first child of the Gradio container. Then next is the return animation created. So a function return animation is created. So this is the basically functionality. We are passing JS is equal to JS and text box. What is your text box? Input mp dot change welcome input output. When I file it, output is well. Next, you can supply your custom JS code as a file path. Here you are passing directly code, but you can pass the file path also. For example, you call the custom.js in same directory where Python script is present, because where Python script is present, both are the file on that place, so that you not need face any problem. Otherwise, you will face a problem or provide the path of the file. Next is the when block and even listener or event have a JS argument that can take a JavaScript function as a string and treat it just like a Python event listener function. You can pass both JavaScript function and Python function, or only JavaScript as per your requirement. For your requirement, as per your requirement, you can pass the value. Next is the code. Here we are passing the we are passing the block and block as a demo. We are passing placeholder subject verb radio button object dot text box and placeholder to object. Here are the text boxes and one radio button. With row we are creating a button, reverse button, put bar button or reverse. Okay, these are the 4 button, and then sentence w1 w3 and passing return. And output will show output 1. Second is show the verb. Third is show the verb reverse, and fourth output is front end and back. This is the textbook level. This is the 4 text box levels. When clicking on the button is clicked, sentence maker is called. Input function is called sentence maker. Object input pass, and this one is output. Reverse button dot click. Then function is none. Object input is subject verb and object. Output and JS is as subject verb or object, and passing this object plus spaces verb plus space plus subject. Verb dot change lambda function apply verb output js is equal to x passing and function is apply and reversing the text and put bar button dot click, then function is none, input is also none, subject is output is subject, js is pass as plus input string plus foo. This is the click. When reverse button to server is clicked, then sentence maker is pass and object one pass and output be this is the input and this is the output and passing mapping and passing to the function. When I compile, you can add the code to the head of. In the previous code, we add JavaScript code to the head parameter of the block initialization. This will add the code to the head of HTML1 HTML document. You can add the, in this example, add the Google Analytics to your demo and add a Google Analytics to your demo. This is the script source file, the ID, Google Analytics tracking ID, script pass. Then after window.data layer, passing that function stage, G tag passing and G tag JS and new date passing, and this is the demo you can pass. You can use the HTML also passing as a head. So you have the power to add the HTML stack. You can add head parameter except any HTML tag. You would normally insert it into a page. You can include it into the tag as per your requirement. Injection custom HTML. You can also add a injecting custom HTML can affect the browser behavior and compatibility, such a keyboard shortcut. You should test your interface across different browser and be made full interactive with browser by default browser. So there is a shift as is triggered. So here we are passing the code, new code, where we are describing the code, what are the line of the codes and how they will. First of all, we are passing the shortcut JS, Gradio, importing the Gradio, and then yes, passing the function shortcut E. E is an argument, event object E as an argument, and then event pass after that passing the event document all or window.event as a E. Basically, this line check if document.all is defined. If it is uses window.event, otherwise use event object E. Passing this object or this object object event E pass to the function. Ensure the this ensure the basic compatibility of the different browser. Then passing the switch statement is the e.target name to the lowercase case input case or text area, otherwise break. When break it out from the loop, nothing to perform. Default, if default statement e.key.lowercase is equal to any of the keys, press document.get element id my button.click, and my button.click event is click and process. And document listener, we add the document listener, add event listener, pressing the key which is shortcut and false. This is the basic compatibility or importing the code. So that document listen the key press event, here document will be listen the key press event. When key is pressed, shortcut function is called and perform action is performed. So that is the passing the shortcut. Here head we are passing the shortcut. You can see that as a demo. Action button name is name, values name, element id is my button, and text box is equal to text box. Action is performed, button is press. Okay, then I click on button is press. When I compile it and click on the button, so it will be show the error button is press. Okay, so in this video, in this lecture, we cover only these topic. In next lecture, we cover the Gradio block like functions. We are using the function in a Gradio block, how to play with the functions. So in the next lecture, we cover the function. Thank you. Bye bye. We will meet into the next lecture. Please subscribe my channel and like my video. Thank you. If any mistake, please write in my comment box so that I will try to improve myself.